Hello, Glantry Mage here. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about one of my ultimate favorite mods, War Never Changes by Nikal. You can find this mod on the Nexus or Bethesda, the Fallout 4 mod list by Bethesda.net, I believe. Both versions are really good, though I think the one on Bethesda.net or the one that's on the mod list on the Fallout page is the more updated version. But nonetheless, let's get into it. The first thing this mod does is it changes the perk system, including the special points you start with. You start with about 31 points, and if you count the special book, that's 32 points. He completely changed the perk system, making each level of the perks chart a level requirement. Okay, so if you're level 6, then you get this whole row is unlocked. Depending on which points you put in your specials, those will then become available to you. As you can see, I'm level 8, but I don't have any of the level 9 or level 10 lines because I have yet to reach level 9 or level 10. Once I get level 10, then the whole entire perk tree opens up. The reason why Nikal did this is for kind of a slower, more focused gameplay. That way you as the player can focus on your build, slower beginning and higher and faster higher levels. Okay, as you get higher and higher levels, once you get past level 12, 14, and so on, you'll get more and more perks opened up a lot faster. He also has a clear naming system, as you can see here. Let's go over like backpack, Belro backpack, leather chest piece, and then Curious. Let's see, you can really see this in like the aids, like food, medical, antibiotics, food, drink, chemical, raw, that means it's uncooked, wild, soup. He completely changed the way the item inventory is treated. And continuing on with the perk tree, he made each of the specials more focused on what its task is, right? So intelligence specifically is more about all your crafting and of course your hacking. So this is where all the demolition, your chemistry, your gun nut, your armor, robotics, blacksmithing, all of that's going to be under intelligence, which makes a lot more sense than putting it either on perception or strength. He also completely changed, as you can see, cap collectors all the way down at level 8, not level 1, which makes a lot more sense because you have to be a very, charismatic person to be able to make sales. You have to be a very charismatic person to get people convinced to buy your goods at a certain price, which never made any sense in the vanilla why it was at 1, a charisma of 1. That made no sense. That's like an introvert just reading the script but has no charisma to back it up, no passion in his voice, which is why I like what he did with the charisma tree line. You'll notice that Lone Wanderer seems to be over here, but he got rid of Lone Wanderer. Instead, he changed Lone Wanderer into Runner. And basically what that means, you double, you triple, and then of course you can fast travel in survival, remove the periodic damage from being over encumbered. Alright. And yes, you're going to need that at level 2. Because enemies he changed so much. This is a complete overhaul mod. A complete overhaul. Not just with the perk system, not just with the specials, not just with, the item inventory, the loot. He changed everything from combat to power armor. He changed the power armor system, companions, weapons, settlements. And as you can see, you already saw the loot a little bit. So sit back, relax, as I go into detail about my experiences and what Nikau was trying to do and has done with this overhaul mod. Sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, and let's get into it. Now let's talk about combat. Combat has been changed. You as a player no longer have a huge health bar. You don't have no endurance plus level to your health bar. It's basically only endurance perks. Basically, you get a flat health pool, like right here, 125. I'm level 8 and I have 125. Now, if I had perks in endurance, let's say if I did, where is it? Way down here is TGM, basically the God mode. And the higher that is, you regenerate health faster. And of course, the more different perks like toughness here gives you damage resistance and health. 20, 30, 40, and so on. But that's it. A plus 50. Also, huge reduction on the HP for combat. Most enemies, especially high level enemies, have lower. Their HP bar is also reduced. Humans are still squishy, but can be very dangerous based on their equipment. And basically their gear. Super mutants have lots more health pool than humans, but are worse at aiming. They're not very good at, keeping accuracy up. New damage locations which we're about to go see. Just gonna sneak over here.
We're closed. You can thank that poison cellar outside for that.
Now hopefully if I do this right, I can...
Why? You for hire? I have 100 caps if you blow Wolfgang's head off.
To where they either drop their weapons and run, or...
Thank you. I'll back you up from here. Go get
they switch weapons.
I'll kill all you chem pushers!
Alright, in the ribs, he's gone.
Get up!
Now let's see if these guys can drop her without killing her. Because she can still fight even from a sitting stance. So if someone takes out her legs, she's almost done. Headshot.
Some luck.
So headshots are extremely dangerous, as you can tell. Hit locations are important. And enemies have less spamming when it comes to Molotovs and grenades. He rebalanced survival and vanilla difficulties.
Never take a hit at Jet again, I swear.
Easier difficulties are considered easier, obviously. Stealth perks are reworked, as you saw earlier. Instead of just a boring percentage damage, you gain a cool effect like slow time on successful sneak attacks. So that's kind of a cool thing to do if you're doing like a sneak build. Enemies. So the reason why this perk here is so bloody important in this one is enemies will now stay alert for longer duration once you have attacked them. You attack any of their buddies. If they hear it or see it, they will stay looking for longer than in the vanilla. And on top of that, they will chase you down. Even if you run outside, they will still chase you down. There was one time I was in, let's see, with this character specifically, I was at the Satellite Olivia. I ran outside thinking that Ak wasn't going to follow me and her little minion. No, she followed me right outside. And her little minion got me. Of course, the little mole rat with the mine on it got hurt, but that's neither here nor there. But that's the cool thing about this mod. War never changes. So many things. Creatures will continue to fight even after they've been injured, especially if you've damaged a limb. Which, if you've seen, if any of you have seen my Shroud of the Commonwealth when I was over at Walden Pond, and I shot the main guy right there, right? And he still kept shooting me because he was only injured. His legs were only injured. His hip.
I can't wait to see the crows feeding on that scumbag.
It was fun.
Here, this is for you. Now, if you ever need to trade, my shop's open.
Now, let's go on and talk about weapons. Now let's talk about weapons. So, as you can see here with this combat tracer rifle, that means incendiary, I can also change the caliber of the gun once you have the perks for it. There's gun nut and bullet hell. So this is a 308 hollow point. If I wanted to do that, I would need 2 ranks in both of those. If I wanted incendiary, that's 2 in 1. For simple 308, I don't need any perks. I could just simply change it. For 38 armor piercing, just bullet hell, rank 3. Rank 2, rank 1. And let's go ahead and just show off. Let's see. What do I have? I have incendiary. Alright. I can also change legendaries as well. You don't, I can change Kellogg's weapon from a, what is it, a 38 to a 44 to a 10, oh, it's already a 10 millimeter chamber with incendiary rounds. And again, only don't need 1 rank in bullet hell to do that. So if I wanted just to get past fleshy things that just have really thick hide and no armor, hollow points are a good way to go. Of course, so same thing with incendiary, but it also causes a small burning damage. Not a massive one, just a small one. This is for armor piercing, is exactly what it's for. For those against humans and super mutants that have armor. I'm not entirely sure if that works against a Deathclaw, since their hide is technically their hide. So I think hollow points would be better suited for a Deathclaw, because their supposed armor, their scales, is their flesh. So mercenary barrel, bull barrel, that's standard. Normalized gun damage progression. In a pinch, a 38 pistol can still be helpful, even at in-game, because of all the different modifications you can do to your gun. A non-upgraded weapon is not doing twice less damage than a fully upgraded one anymore. So basically, what this mod does, he rebalanced weaponry to mean
Only thing better
more
than getting pissed is
effective
picking a fight. Am I right?
in any combat scenario. New ballistic bullets, as you saw. Heavy weapons do some serious damage. The minigun pretty much is armor piercing and just mows down people. The first minigun you find will be rusty. It's the one you find at Freedom, Museum of Freedom, is a rusty minigun. I'm not sure if... Do I have that on this? Or did I give that to someone? I probably gave that to someone. There's Carla. Now, weapons against robots, armor piercing would definitely work against robots, right? While hollow points are good against flesh. The reason why armor piercing works against robots is because technically their hide is armor, is technically armor. And I don't have a mini. Oh well. He also improved automatic weaponry. And I don't have that, do I? No, of course not. Wait, does she still have it?
This better be worth.
So the submachine gun, for example, the fire rate is definitely doubled than the vanilla. It's definitely higher. Semi-auto with reduced health for everyone. They are deadly. As he puts it, he wanted machine guns to do exactly what machine guns do. They may not be, one-shot kills or anything like that, but they'll take your health down faster than anything else. It just, there goes your health. Legendary replace older OP ones. Double shot instead increase the lot of the range. Explosive is now instead stabilizing effects, which explains why the Silver Shroud gun, for those who saw my Silver Shroud gun, wasn't doing like the spray and pray did in the vanilla. It wasn't doing the explosive damage. It was just doing more and more affecting damage. The more accurate I was for every hit I got with that Silver Shroud gun, the higher the damage went up. So it was like every 3 shots, if you think about it, you take the normal machine gun, let's say the Silver Shroud gun did like 15 damage. But that third shot was doing 3 times 15. If I hit 4 times, it was doing 4 times as much. And the more and more I hit in a row, the more effective the machine gun was. And I think that was what he really focused on when it came to the weapons entirely, is more accuracy, is more effectiveness. Now let's move on to companions. So you see Dogmeat right there? Check this out. There's Kate, still in my party. Watch this. Tag along.
I'm telling you right now, if dog meat gets you killed, I'm turning him into a fur coat.
Yeah, that's funny. But watch, watch. Kate's still in the party. Now dog meat's in the party. I can have dog meat during my entire playthrough without ever having him leave and just change out my companions if I wanted to. Just dismiss dog meat and then dismiss your companion when you don't want to have companions. I recommend doing it that way. That's just my own personal opinion. Get rid of dog meat, then the companion. But you can do it either way. The mod doesn't interfere or mess up if you do it the other way. Another thing about companions is there's 2 amazing perks in the companion tree line. So under, let's see, yeah, so 2 arms. If you go all the way back, that, it's time to unleash some freedom. 2 arms. Your companion does 20% more damage, and can't hurt you. That's pretty much very similar to vanilla. But then there's this one. Your companion only needs 1 ammo. That's it. That's it. So for those of you out there who have a mod where, I forget which mod it is, this perk right here under, what is it, Charisma of 8, you don't need that mod if you have this particular mod called War Never Changes, because your companion literally is your companion. Your companion will back you up. They hit way more accurate. Even if you don't have this one, Inspirational, which are literally right next to each other. 6 and 7. At the first one of Inspirational, your companion resists more damage in combat, and cannot be hit by you. Basically, you cannot harm your companion. Here's another one for 2 arms. Your companion does not damage their power armor. Think about that. Think about how easy Kate runs into battle, or Piper runs into battle, and stuff like that. With this perk alone, your companion becomes extremely useful. They're not just in the way all the time like in the vanilla, where they're just kind of helping you. With this mod, they actually help. With this mod, companions are actually useful. Companions, even without either one of those perks. Companions aim better, do more damage. Companions are immune to fall damage. So even if you jump off a building, let's say you're in power armor, but your companion isn't, that's cool. They can jump off the building like a character from a superhero movie. And that's it for companions, really. Let's move on to what this mod does to power armor. I'll be right back and get my power armor. Oh, wait, nope, never mind. Correction, I apologize for that. Here's a broken one right here. Power armor is much more effective at protecting you from your enemies, especially damage. Bringing heavy armor. Let's just take a peek. Let's just take a peek, shall we? Now, if you go over here, go to apparel. Now, I'm only wearing 360, 250, 460. And I don't think this, has not been upgraded. The helmet alone, 100, 60, 150. There's the torso. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm talking about.
On top of that, he dramatically increased the effectiveness of science. 10 perks. Yeah, 10 perks in science fusion core duration. So, for example, where is it? Where is it? Science, 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 science. So there's this one which helps with both robotics and high tech, which also helps with your power armor. Where is? I passed it. I know I passed it. Excuse me. Radiation, no, that's not it. Fusion cores last double the time. Okay, so 3 times as long, and then 4 times as long. So with this perk alone, the power of the atom makes your fusion cores this perk alone can help any power armor build. You know, you can stay in your power armor for a very, very long time with just this perk. I mean, 4 times as long? That's insane. Of course, you still get the, the bombing and stuff like that if you want. But for me, I barely use that unless I've, got the rocket pack on. I'm flying over and I have way too many fusion cores. But fusion cores actually, without that perk, you will eat up your fusion core quick. Let me just see if I can demonstrate. Look how fast that's dropping. Look how fast that's dropping. I mean, even if I just walk, right, it still eats up. I mean, not as fast, but it still eats it up quicker than in the vanilla. So that's another thing he changed. He wanted people to actually focus. If you're going to do a power armor build, let's do a power armor build. And there are perks, like the one in robotics, this one, that actually helps you with better ranking and better mods that you can do for your power armor, and as well as armor. So combine all 3 of those, and you have a tank. You literally are a walking tank with those 3 perks. Let's see. Jetpacks. Oh yeah. I wish I don't have a video for you for that. Jetpack is now cheaper than it was in the vanilla. Combined with other power armor changes, you can use... basically, he allows your power armor just to be a lot more effective. Your jetpack especially. You can fly longer. And I think it eats up... It doesn't eat up your core as fast. Yeah, in the very dramatically, let me read what he said on his thing. Dramatically increases the effectiveness of science, 10 perk fusion core duration. A T-45 radar armor depleted fusion core fast, just like in the lore. Early game, 100% PA uptime is not a solution anymore. So what he did was, I wish I had my time on the wrong... Alright, sorry. But you can use the jetpack, fly on that house, fly over onto this house, and you barely used up your fusion core. You can fly over that, the river over there and be fine. He really made it where power armor is way more effective than it was in the lore, or in the vanilla. see. Oh yeah, yeah. Here's one that'll probably not please so many people. Let me get out of this before I eat up my fusion core. I'm showing Victor here. Oh yeah, so there's not that many power armor frames out in the world, so you're not gonna have like 50 freaking power armor at your settlement anymore. He's reduced the amount of power armor that is out there. Better overall satisfying. Giving the companion is not a tedious one. No need to repair for every fight. The scarcity of power armor, as it is in the lore, means you can, yeah, you're not going to store them a lot. You're not going to have a warehouse of power armor. Of course, granted, if you have the mod, We Are the Minutemen or Liberty, what is it, the other Minutemen one, where you can get, well, the Minutemen will be wearing power armor, not you. But that's a whole different mod we're talking about this one. He also fixed, oh yeah. So he fixed a mod where if a companion or a settler gets into the power armor, right, that you had brought to the settlement, right, it's not going to be considered stealing anymore. Once they get out of the power armor and they leave it at the settlement, and you then jump into the power armor that you brought there in the first place. So that bug is gone. Moving on to the next one. This is a bad example. So, now let's talk about settlements. Settlements in War Never Changes by Nikao. You'll notice the first thing when you start doing settlements with this mod, and that is you get a lot more size bar than you ever did in vanilla. As you can see here over at Starlight with my character here, I barely filled up the bar. I scrapped everything that I could and then built like the beginnings of a razor grain farm. Yeah. And again, this is no weapons cheat. You don't need to do that. You don't need to trick the size bar at all. You don't need to do any of that with this mod. And the reason for that is because the mod author gives you so much more within the boundaries. The size bar is, I'm not saying it's harder to fill. I'm saying once you've scrapped everything in that settlement, it's, you can build what you want. It's gonna be a lot easier on you and probably your computer than you ever did in vanilla. Okay. Let's see, another thing you're gonna notice is that settlers are gonna have different faces. They're gonna have unique faces. They're not gonna have not all of them are gonna walk in with like pipe pistols, and that's and they'll actually have other weapons. They'll actually have a service rifle. They'll actually have a 45. They'll have a 10 millimeter. They'll have leather armor. They'll have I mean, not all of them are going to be fully equipped. I'm not saying that. But, you know, you can end up having them with shotguns, rifles, and a lot more variety of vanilla stuff that's already in the game. Which we'll get into the vanilla stuff and what this mod can do with other mods that can do with vanilla bodies and stuff like that in a little bit. Anyways, settlers and settlements, like you'll notice in the let me get out of this. Over here in the perk system, there's like 2 major perks that are specifically for settlements. And that's Brighter Future and Local Leader. Now, Local Leader is at level 9 instead of level 6, but as soon as you put 1 star in it, you not only can start doing supply lines, but now you can start putting in workshop settlements. Supply lines between your workshop settlements. You can actually start putting in shops. You know, you don't need to wait for, you know, the second one to start putting in your shops. Right? You can just do it as soon as you have this. The next one down here, as you can see, increases scavenger productive, removes production caps, increases the chance of new settlers coming in, and reduce the risk of successful attacks. Now, if you think about this, by level 45, think about how powerful your character is already by level 45. Alright? Then you get this final perk for your settlements. You just need to make sure that your settlements have 100% defense, 100 defense, and that's it. It's maxed out. You don't need to worry about settlement attacks ever, because they have 100% success rate now. That's what that says right there. You now have 100% success rate at when your settlement gets under attack. That's why it's a bit brighter future. You have 100, you're good. Unlike in the vanilla, where it's still a roll of a dice. Here, it's not. It's, you maxed it out. You're good. You're golden. Moving on. Not only can you get supply lines at the first star here, but now you get 10 additional settlers and 20 additional settlers. Think about that. You can add an additional 30 settlers to already the 10 that you get by itself. So you can end up having 40 settlers at your mega metropolis hub, your city hub. If you wanted to build one, you can do that in War Never Changes. Now, I highly recommend you have to pay attention to your computer schematics and your computer graphics and stuff like that, and make sure that your computer can handle multiple major settlement hubs. Now, granted, if you have the ultimate, latest graphics card and the latest, stuff for your computer, then your computer more than likely can handle it. But if you're running like, still using Windows 8 or something like that, or anything of that nature, I highly not recommend doing this in multiple settlements. Do it at one and you're golden. You can create your own Diamond City with this mod. If you wanted to do that, you can. Now, also within settlements, you have the ability, hang on, let me just make sure I'm reading my notes correctly. Craftable DLC weapons and ammo in contraptions and factories. Duh. More natural settlement buildings and growth. Oh, longer wires. So, you get longer wire with this mod. So instead of just having to get like a mod that's for that, which again we'll get into the simplified version of this mod, what this mod kind of does by itself and what it's capable or compatible with other mods, and it's a long list, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But let's demonstrate a little something. Let's put a wire, let's say right on here. Let's put a conduit right up here. As soon as it gets, come on, work with me here. There we go. Okay, that's gonna be easy even in vanilla. But this one won't be. Now, you know what would happen if I try to do this in vanilla. It's not gonna work. Let's see how good it does with this one. Oh wait, it reached. Again, not crazily long, right? It's not super ridiculously long. But it is longer than vanilla's. Say. Can't do something uber crazy. But that right there is already longer than the vanilla. Let's go ahead and back this up a little bit further just to test it more. If I didn't stop sinking it into the building. How about... Can we do it down here? Oh, it's hitting. Okay, it's hitting. Alright. Can't let it hit. Okay, that's still pretty long. That's True Storms right there. Which again, is one of the mods that this mod works beautifully with. But again, more on that later. Another thing that this mod does is power range for pylons and conduits. So, for example, let's go ahead and grab one of these. Now in vanilla, I need to go and find a bigger building. But you can put like 4 of these buildings together and it would power and light up the entire building. If you remember from Sanctuary, the houses in there, and you would put it on one side of the wall, like over on this side, and it would only do half the house. In this mod, it can light up the entire house. One little conduit on the back, and it lights it all up. The entire house. You don't need to put like 2 or 3 of them on there, you just need one, and it's good. Let's see. Oh, another great thing that people are like about this mod is that when settlement attacks happen, the attacks come into the settlement, not right in the center of it. You know, you won't have a thing spawn right in. In fact, if you saw earlier, there was 2 Deathclaws running into the settlement from the east and the bridge, right? In fact, that's where I picked up... put my gun away. Alright. That's where I picked up that one. I dropped it already. Where I picked up that one weapon. Let's see what this settler has. You don't hear my character talking because I'm using silent protagonist.
Need to get back to Diamond City one of these days. Biggest town I ever saw.
Let's see what we got.
Of course.
Okay, that was a bad example. She has a pipe pistol. God dang it. Yeah. Oh well. Most of the times, they don't come in with pipe pistols. They come in with shotguns, rifles, and such. Different settlers, farmers, guards, urban, they come in as a 2-1-1 ratio. All can be assigned to new jobs. And now we'll go on to the last but not least, compatibility. That this mod does, or is compatible with. As you can see, it's compatible with True Storms. It's compatible with Silent Protagonist. We are the Minutemen. Super Mutant Redux support. Raider Overhaul. Uniques. Better NPCs. And much, 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 much more. Like, if you look at the list over at Nexus, it's a ridiculous amount of mods that this is capable with. It's also compatible with better homes and bunkers, such as this one. It's compatible with a lot of other mods. Now, granted, if you want, I'm not hang on, let's see if there's any armor pieces that I can grab real quick. Oh, actually, this is a perfect example. So I can put Kate's, okay, so I just put on Kate's punk outfit, which is another mod. This is from Ellie's compendium, but as you can see, I'm still my leather armor not gone. I can wear it right over it. I can even use laundered green dress, and again, it works right over it. I can wear a charisma suit and still wear armor. Now, granted, this is within the mod itself. I didn't need any other mods. I didn't need the, what's that one mod that, the armor keyword resource mod, that one. And with that, you do need that if you want specific armor mods. So, yes, this mod does work with that if you want to get specific armor mods. But if you don't, and you just want to use the vanilla stuff or the DLC stuff, or any mod that works with the vanilla bodies without having to use Aqua or whatever, that mod, if you don't, if that armor piece works without that and works with the vanilla body, it can work with this mod easily. Because this mod works primarily with the vanilla stuff. It works with, it does, I'm not saying that it doesn't work well with BCCEE, the body mod. It is capable of handling it. It can work well with it. But again, use all the mods for that to make it work and all that. But if you're like me and you don't need all those fancy ones and you're okay with what the game gives you, you're okay with the vanilla body, you're okay with the DLC armors that can work with the normal bodies, then you just need this mod, and the mods that do that. Let's see. There's weapon mods that work along with this. Again, read the mod itself if it's compatible with, if it's a lone mod that doesn't require any other, like the special mods that otherwise it won't work kind of thing, then it can work with this. I actually am running, let's see, let's show you real quick. Here we go. This is a good example. This is a better example, I should say. Silver Shroud submachine gun. More Doctors, True Storms, Minuteman Watchtowers, Sim Settlements, Faction Housing, Railroad Redone, Minuteman Morale, Railroad Safe House, all of these mods, Campsite, This Is My Bed, all of these, no problem whatsoever. There's my coffee mod. Animated drinking, no problem. Oil lamps, no problem. 3D scopes, no problem. That's pretty much see-through scopes, by the way. Fuse box for all. That's kind of a little cheat right there. Pip-Boy flashlight, no problem. Makeshift homes, no problem. This one, oh my god, this mod. I apparently misunderstood this mod. I thought it was like holster your weapon kind of thing and show your weapons that you have equipped. It's not. It just gives you the look of that you have equipped weapons. And even though you see how there's like a, what, 2 sniper rifles or a hunting rifle and a sniper rifle in this image here, guess what? As soon as you pull either one of those from your inventory and you use it, it doesn't remove from your back. They're still there. Both of them are still there. So it's just for looks. That one was a bit disappointing. So there you go. All of these work with We Are the Minutemen. And let's go ahead and show off that one. I mean, if you just look at what this thing does by itself, Gunner, Raiders, more aggressive, everything I just talked about. Again, this is the one from the mod list that is in the game. You know, you click on your mod list, or click on mods from the game. Or you can use Nexus. Either one. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this long-winded talk about my favorite mod, We Are the Minutemen. And I hope one of these days, you know, if I can get a hold of Nikal or whatever, I'm going to say this right now for Nikal specifically. Nikal, if you're watching this video, if someone sends you this video or anything of that nature, if I somehow am able to find you on the Nexus or anything like that, by all means, put this on your website, put this on the Nexus. This way I can share this video, like this video. That way we can get this wonderful mod out there. It is a wonderful mod. It's got 1186 endorsements. I myself am trying to endorse it myself. Still trying to figure out how that works. But Nikal, you did a wonderful job, and I hope to see more of your mods. Even though this is like your big one. And good job. Thumbs up, applause. Have a good one. Bye-bye.